I celebrated with my team, everyone, as many people as I could. We had a little like team get together, so just McLaren, friends, family, near the hotel. Just a few drinks with them, and then extended and leveled up the celebrations after that. But I celebrated a lot because it's like this is it. This is. It's not like, okay, another step to go or one more year to get to this. What we achieved yesterday was it. That was the kind of final piece of the whole thing. I still find it very surreal for sure. When someone says like, congrats world champ or something, it's definitely got a very different ring to it when it's just, congrats Lando or whatever it may be, So it's, I don't know, because I think it's still such a sizable achievement. I think, 35th driver, I think, to do it, like 35 in the world, and I got to be one of them, so.
And 11 Britons.
And 11 Brits. Brits are doing well. The Brits have always done well in the Formula One chain. So, no, I'm proud also that some incredible people, some that I'm still racing against on the grid now, or a good amount of them actually, and of course for the Brits, for my name to be alongside them is pretty incredible.
Back home, I don't know whether you're aware, but like mums were crying, kids were crying. Do you feel like a British national sporting hero?
That's definitely part of the connection of what makes me enjoy doing what I'm doing. Is knowing the effect that I have on my team, my family, all of those people. And when you have then, again, the same thing, not just in fans, but a country, that's a nation, that's like a pretty, again, surreal, pretty unbelievable thing. You can grow up on TV, I grew up on TV, watching these things, watching all the stars that have ever been in my last 20 years of watching TV. And now there's what I once would have been, that little kid at home watching it on TV thinking, oh wow, I would love to do that one day,
Your mum was talking on the BBC last night after you won about the sacrifices you've made as a family, particularly, personal time together. How do you think about all that now that you've finally achieved your ambition?
We're still as a family, you want to be together, you want to spend time together. And that's something we've not really done a lot of, since I started when I was like 7, 8 years old. My dad was taking me everywhere. I spent a lot more time with my dad than I did with my mum. My mum was at home looking after my sisters. So for that whole journey, for all that time away, all the travel, I see my mum 20 days a year, maybe, something like that. Which is not a lot. My mum wishes she saw me a lot more. But yeah, for all of those times to kind of finally, she felt like it was already worth it when, I got to Formula One and I won a race in Formula One. But certainly winning and having the achievement we did yesterday made everything feel more worth it, all those times away. And it's, I think, one thing that everyone wants to do is make their parents proud. So the fact I got to do that yesterday, I hope it make them even more proud. So the fact I got to share also with my brother and my sisters, the sacrifices also from them, that I don't feel like I've been maybe the older brother that my sisters would have wanted or would have loved quite as much. I've not been able to see also them grow up as much, but yeah, everyone has little sacrifices, different sacrifices along the way in order to achieve their dreams. And I certainly feel like it was all worth it because I still get to have them all there at the end of it, which was yesterday, and we get to celebrate it all together because my dream was their dream and their dream was my dream, all of it together. So it was our win.
If you could speak to little Lando, the guy doing the donuts in the go-kart that people have seen a video of now, what would you say to him about what this feels like?
I wish I could say many things. You have to go through, I think. And I feel like this year was a proving point for myself, but also in the case that kind of have to go through some tough times to understand, to learn, always like reality checks, in order to be stronger, or in order to grow, in order to try and be one of the best in the world at whatever your job may be. So, like for me, a little part of that was this season, the struggles I had at the beginning, whether it was with the car or just myself, whatever it was. Having them made me much stronger for the second half. So, do I wish I could go back and say that many things? Probably not. But probably just to have a bit more belief in myself, because that's something I never really had when I was younger. I was never the big kid or never the aggressive one, that kind of thing. I'm still the same, I think, now. But I would just get my elbows out a little bit more. Would probably be my only thing.
Now, when you came to Abu Dhabi, you were talking about, it's just another race.
Yeah.
Did it ever really feel like that?
I mean, I really try to treat it as much like that as possible. And it's difficult because every time you have that small thought of, but this could make you world champion, that overrides every thought. Every bit of me that's trying to go, just treat it normally, treat it the same. As soon as you have that one little thought that drifts away, like, it could be this weekend, like I could be on that step, I could be holding that trophy. I felt very calm the whole weekend, which was very nice. I felt like I could enjoy it because I was very calm. But those practice qualifyings, pre-race, I was still there with Will before the race, having a laugh about things, talking about things. I didn't try and put more scrutiny, more stress on myself. I really tried to do the opposite. I just wanted to be there with my guys and girls on the grid and chat about things and just almost forget that you're about to do the biggest race of your life. And that certainly helps me. And even till the last 2 laps, like some little thoughts crept in, but really it was only the last lap that I allowed myself to think of what was about to happen.
Now, you said something very interesting last night in the course of all those words you said to the media. You said you were very proud you've been able to prove yourself wrong.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
At times, a little bit from the previous point, like I've not always had the most belief in myself. There's certainly been times even this year when, Oscar's doing a better job than me and I wasn't doing a great job. And I was like, well, maybe they're just a bit better. Maybe they can just be more consistent, get more out of the car. I just never thought at times that it was possible. So for me to then do that for myself, to kind of go, you're wrong, you can do it, it's a pretty incredible feeling to have for yourself. And I wouldn't say I'm a very selfish person, but I think I've also learned at times I almost have to be more selfish with some of these feelings and thoughts, and I need that to almost make me a better and stronger driver.
Can you talk about the process of getting better? I mean, we know the car was changed slightly, but I've heard it was more of a sort of mental approach of you accepting that was going to be the case and working out what to do about that. Is that true? And if so, how does that work?
It was a mixture of things. It was a mixture of me just not getting the most out of the car because it changed quite a bit from the previous year. Having the half of me going, I'm just not doing a good enough job. And also getting a kick from Andrea, and Andrea's seen a lot of things in his career in Formula One. He's been with some incredible people, learned a lot of things, and always forced me a lot more to kind of push them in like, guys, I need more of this, I want more of that. How can you help me here? How can you? Which is never my first thought. It's always why am I not doing a good enough job? And I just got very frustrated when I wasn't doing a good enough job. Also because I knew what was on the line. I knew it was a chance to fight for the World Championship. So when I wasn't doing a good enough job, I was pretty downbeat about it. I'm not going to just come in and go, it just wasn't that good, but I'll try again. That hurts a lot inside. And at some points, that just starts to have a bigger negative effect on me, pre-races, pre-qualifyings. And then it kind of gets into a spiral. So I worked with a lot of people outside of the world of Formula One in order to have a better approach mentally, cope with all of these things better, allow me to drive like I can, drive like Lando can. And that's been our thing this season that we try to work on, is just trying to not make me a faster driver, just allowing me to drive at the ability that I can drive at.
Now, this year you won Monaco, you won Silverstone, and you won the World Championship. Yeah. What else is there left to do?
I mean, they're really the best runs. Just downhill from here. I would have loved to make my life a bit easier and win it just earlier next time. But you know, it's always more exciting when it kind of goes down to the final race, final few laps. It's more exciting for everyone, for you guys, you know, most of all. But I won ones that, again, people have dreamt of winning. Like, they're some of the most incredible ones. The lap I did in Monaco in quali, like, was the only other time, probably in the last 10 years, that I cried a little bit over something. Because there I proved myself wrong. There was one other moment this season that I proved myself wrong. Because I had that bad run of results, I just couldn't perform in qualifying. Qualifying's always been my strong suit. So when I went to the hardest track to do a qualifying lap in, you know, I turned off my delta for the first time that weekend, so I couldn't see if I was on a better lap, worse lap, whatever it was. It's not been my best track in the past. For me to then go there and put that lap I put in at the end of qualifying was one of the best moments of my career, in a way, because it was the time I almost doubted myself the most ever. But that one lap, 1 minute, 9 seconds, was all it needed for me to flip everything and turn that thought of, I just don't know if I got this, to, oh, I can definitely do this. And that was a pivotal moment for me up here.
What do you do for the next few weeks, and what do you take from this year into next year?
Actually, pretty simple next few weeks. We review everything. You know, there's still plenty of things that, you know we would have loved to have done better. I know I would have loved to have made a slightly different decision here or there, and we'll review all of those things, put them in a kind of little pile, and make some quick assumptions and predictions from those things and results. So it's not a long break, but then, you know, Uzbekistan for the FIA awards, which I'm looking forward to, because I think the first time I might get to touch the trophy, so that's something I'm very excited for. And team Christmas party, one of the best nights of the season. And then I go with all my friends. We go skiing. I get all my injuries out the way nice and early, and just enjoy some time with the people that you've probably seen on TV a lot over the last day. My parents, my brother, my sisters. Honestly, try forget this season. I forget that I drive in Formula One. I don't want to forget what we've achieved this season, but, you know, just go live a normal few days of the year. I take a lot out of this year. I take plenty of things that I know I could have done better. I should have done better. But I did what I had to in the end of it. It was crazy close. And yeah, 2 points is all it was to Max. You know, that's pretty insane. I do have what it takes. I had my flaws, I had my mistakes, but, you know, I'm confident, and I have the confidence now that I can look at them, review them, analyze them, not make them again, and do even better next season.